Welcome to the channel. So today in this particular video I am going to discuss about one of the most important topic, that is optical purity and enantiomer excess. And we are also going to see some mathematical problem related to this particular topic. This particular topic is little vast, so I would suggest that you just carefully go through the whole video. This video is going to be very important if you are preparing for JEE Main and Advanced, NEET UG and KVPO exams. First of all, we are going to understand the whole concept, then we are solving two questions from this particular section. So let's begin with our topics. Now, in this particular slide, I am going to discuss about what is optical activity. So I think all of you know that if any compound is optically active, then we have to keep this compound inside this type of polarimeter tube. This is called polarimeter tube. Now if you allowed a light which should be polarized, what type of polarized? That is called plane polarized. Okay, then after passing the polarimeter tube, what will happen? If the compound is optically active, then the path of the light can change. It can rotate either on your right hand side or on your left hand side. Okay, so if it is rotate on your right hand side, then the compound is basically known as dextro, and if it is rotate towards your left hand side, then the compound is basically known as levo. Okay, so clockwise rotation, see it is written over here, clockwise rotation will give you dextro and anti-clockwise or counterclockwise rotation will give you levo compound. Okay, so this is the arrangement to analyze the optical activity of a compound. Okay, so now we are going to check what is the definition. Okay, so now it is said that some substances have the ability to rotate the plane polarized light either to the right, that is called clockwise, or to the left, that is called anti-clockwise. These substances are termed as optically active substances. I think all of you know what is the minimum criteria for optical activity. The criteria are: number 1, the compound should contain at least one chiral carbon. Number 2, the compound should not possess any kind of element of symmetry. And number 3, the compound must not be superimposable with its mirror image. Then the compound should be optically active. Okay, and the property is called optical activity. And you know, the apparatus which measures the extent of rotation of the polarized light is basically called polarimeter. So that particular instrument, okay, so that particular instrument is basically known as polarimeter. Okay, now type of optically active substance. So how many types of optically active substance is there? Already we know there are two types basically. Number 1 is dextrorotatory and number 2 is levorotatory. So dextrorotatory can be written in this form, either D isomer or plus isomer. Similarly levorotatory can be written like, okay, so we can symbolize this L isomer or minus isomer. Okay, so dextrorotatory compound can rotate whenever you allowed a plane polarized light through a compound which is dextrorotatory. Then this compound can able to rotate the path of the plane polarized light towards right, and the levo compound can able to rotate the path of plane polarized light towards left. Okay, that's why we can put a plus and the minus sign over here. Now, what are the depending factors of angle of rotation? Okay, there are so many factors. So the angular rotation observed in polarimeter depends on: number 1, nature of the substance; number 2, wavelength of the light used, that is lambda basically; number 3, the concentration of the sample. Whatever the concentration you take for your experiment, that depends on that particular amount is actually depends on the angle of rotation. So angular rotation depends on this particular amount. Okay, number 4, length of the path through which polarized light is passes, and number 5 is very important, temperature at which the measurement are made. Now what is called specific rotation? Now see the definition first. The optical activity of a substance is generally expressed in terms of specific rotation. Okay, so there is a mathematical term by which we can define optical activity. A compound specific rotation alpha can be used as a characteristics physical property of a compound. Okay, so now this is the definition part. What is the definition of specific rotation then? Number of degree of rotation observed when the concentration of the solution of optically active substance is 1 gram per centimeter cube and the length of the polarimeter tube is 1 decimeter. So that indicate you have to take an optically active substance inside the polarimeter tube, and before you take you should make clear that your concentration of the substance should be 1 gram per centimeter cube and the length of the polarimeter tube is 1 decimeter. Okay, so next we have a formula to calculate this specific rotation. Okay, what is the formula then? The formula is, so this is the formula basically, alpha, this is the alpha, this lambda indicate the wavelength, this T indicate the temperature at which the experiment was made. Okay, after that this L and this C is given as length of the polarimeter tube and C is the concentration. Okay, and this alpha within the third bracket portion is basically known as specific rotation and defined temperature and wavelength. Sometimes D is used for sodium D line, and in this case sometimes we use the practical terms alpha observation. Okay, so observed rotation from experiment, that's why sometimes it is written like alpha observation. Okay, now the thing is, what do you mean by enantiomer? Now in the next slide I am going to show you what is enantiomer. So concept of enantiomer. So first we see the definition, then we see the examples. Okay, so this is the definition of enantiomer. Enantiomers are the stereoisomer which are non-superimposable mirror image to each other, and a pair of enantiomers are non-superimposable. Minded, you should stretch on this particular words, that is non-superimposable mirror image forms of the same compound. Mind it, same compound. So enantiomer are coming from same compound and have opposite absolute stereochemistry. So we have another video session for absolute stereochemistry. We are actually going to see R and S nomenclature. Okay, now if you take the example of lactic acid having the formula like this. Okay, having the formula like this. Now if you are changing this flying wedge projection of lactic acid, this is a flying wedge projection of lactic acid into Fischer projection, then you have to draw these vertical lines and horizontal lines, then you have to put methyl over here, you have to put COOH over here, you have to put hydrogen over here, and you have to put OH over here. Now if you placed a mirror, then you are getting a mirror image of this lactic acid. Okay, so you are getting this compound CH3 COOH. H should be placed over here and OH should be placed over here. Okay, now look at this molecule very carefully. So this is the mirror image. So this is molecule number 1, say this is molecule number 2. So molecule number 2 is the mirror image of molecule number 1. Now if you put this molecule number 2 over this molecule number 1, you are not getting identical structure. Okay, you are not at all getting identical structure. So these two compounds are basically known as enantiomer. Why? Because they are non-superimposable mirror image. Okay, so it is said that if after the experiment it is seen that compound number 1 is dextrorotatory, then its mirror image should be levorotatory. Okay, so this is the concept of enantiomer. If the object is dextro, then the mirror image is levo and vice versa. Okay, so this is the concept of enantiomer. Now we are trying to solve a particular problem. Okay, now what is the problem given over here? See, read the problem. 5 gram of a compound was dissolved in 20 ml of a solution. The observed rotation measured by the polarimeter tube was found to be minus 12.6 degree. The polarimeter tube is 30 centimeter long. What is the specific rotation? So I think all of you know the formula, that is alpha specific is equals to alpha observation by L into C. Now what is the C? What is the concentration term over here? So 5 gram is given divided by volume, isn't it? So number of weight by volume, okay? So it should be around 1 by 4 gram per ml. So concentration should be provided in this particular unit, that is gram per ml. So if you simplify this, you are getting 0.25 gram per ml. So what is the value of L? L is the length of polarimeter tube. It is given 30 centimeter. But according to our concept, we should convert this centimeter to decimeter. It should be 3 decimeter. Okay, because we know that 10 centimeter equals to 1 decimeter. Okay. Now what is the value of alpha over here? So alpha observation, it is given already minus 12.6. Now we got all the values. Now if I are putting all these values over here, minus 12.6, in place of L we can put 3, in place of C we can put 0.25, and after simplification we are getting minus 16.8 degree centigrade ml gram dm. Okay, so this is the actually answer, that is minus 16.8 degree, minus 16.8 degree. So this is the way how to solve this type of problem. Okay. Now, the next part is very important to understand this particular concept. So, what is optical purity? Suppose an optically pure compound is one which is 100% one enantiomer, that is either D or either L, right? During synthesis of optically active compounds, it is often found that enantiomeric mixture of different percentage composition have been produced. Okay. Now, what is an optical purity? So, optical purity of an enantiomeric mixture. So, enantiomeric mixture means you are having some amount of D isomer and some amount of L isomer, right? Enantiomeric mixture means that excess of one enantiomer over another. So basically excess of one enantiomer over another in a DL mixture. Okay, so this is the working formula how to calculate this optical purity. So number 1, you can write specific rotation of enantiomeric mixture divided by specific rotation of pure enantiomer. Optical purity can be expressed in terms of specific rotation also, alpha mixture by alpha pure enantiomer, or you can write alpha observation by alpha pure enantiomer, right? Now next is what is called specific. So in this slide we are going to discuss about what is enantiomeric excess then. So enantiomeric excess is a measure for how much of one enantiomer is present compared to the other. So this is very important concept and try to understand. Okay, suppose in a sample with 40% enantiomeric excess in R, if we have a sample in which we have this data actually provide. Suppose we have a sample in which we have this data, that is 40% enantiomeric excess in R, so that the remaining 60% is racemic with 30% R and 30% isn't it? So if we have a 40% enantiomeric excess, then the remaining 60% is racemic, in which we have 30% R and 30% S, because we know the concept of racemic mixture. Racemic mixture is a mixture in which we have equimolar amount of plus and minus isomer, or R isomer or S isomer, or equal amount of plus isomer or minus isomer, right? Now, so total amount of R, then how much? Therefore, total amount of R, it should be then 30% from this racemic, and you have 40% enantiomeric excess, then 40%, so ultimately 70%. Okay, so in a 100% mixture, then you have 70% of R isomer and only 30% of S isomer. Okay, so this is the concept of enantiomeric excess, right? So this is the concept of enantiomeric excess. Now, so this is the formula how to calculate enantiomeric excess. So enantiomeric excess equals to optical purity into 100. So if you multiply optical purity with 100, you are getting enantiomeric excess. Or you can simply apply this formula also, alpha mix by alpha pure into 100. You are getting enantiomeric excess. Similarly, you can write this formula also, mod value of R minus mod value of S by mod value of R plus mod value of S into 100. Or you can simply apply this formula also, mod value of D minus mod value of L by mod value of D plus L into 100. So in this way we can calculate the enantiomeric excess. Okay, now we are trying to solve a particular problem, and this is the problem. So what is the problem says? Problem says like that the R isomer has a specific rotation of 20 degree plus 20 degree. A 10-gram sample consisting of only R and S isomer produces a specific rotation of plus 8 degree. What is the optical purity? So all of you know how to calculate optical purity. So number one is to calculate optical purity. You know, it is actually the formula like this, alpha mixture by alpha pure. So which isomer is pure over here? R isomer. So we can write simply R for that. Okay. Now what is the value of alpha R is given? Alpha R is given plus 20 degree. Okay. And alpha mixture is also given. It is plus 8 degree. So now you can put this value 8 by 20, and after simplifying you are getting 0.4. So optical purity of the mixture is 0.4. So what is the enantiomeric excess then? Enantiomeric excess equals to optical purity into 100. So 0.4 into 100, though that indicate 40%. So 40% is the enantiomeric excess. Okay. So now how to calculate the grams of R and A? So A part has done, B part has also done. So we have to calculate how many grams of S and R are present in the mixture. Okay, how we can do that? So 40% means R minus S should be 40, and we should consider that the summation result of R and S should be 100. Okay, now if you simplifying this, S will cancel out, you are getting 2R equals to how much? 140. So R should be 70%. Okay, if R should be 70%, then it should be how much? 30%. Okay, then total sample is 10 gram. So it is given a 10 gram of sample. Okay, so total sample, total amount of sample equals to how much gram? 10 gram. So therefore R should be present 70 by 100 into 10 equals to 7 gram, and A should be present how much? 30 by 100 into 10 equals to 3 gram. This is the answer. Okay, so this is the procedure how we can solve this type of problem in JEE examination. So that's for all today. So I hope you understood very well. If you like my video, then press the like button and do subscribe it. So thank you for watching.